You're listening to Wealthy-esque. We are a community of lawyers who believe that true wealth is having control of our time. I'm Ro Thomas, and as a busy wife, mom, and former Big Law associate, I know all too well the tension between the culture of the legal profession and pretty much everything else you want to do in life. That's why each week I'm bringing you the information and tools you need to improve your money mindset and manage your money to create true wealth. Because ultimately, it's not about the money. It's about the freedom and flexibility the money affords. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I hope you're doing well and having an amazing day so far. Today, we are talking about crash money dieting. So you may be familiar with crash dieting. Basically, it's when people cut out a bunch of foods and they try to lose weight really quickly. And it's all about depriving themselves, only eating these, really healthy things or only eating this little bit of food to try to get to the goal quickly. I see this same kind of behavior commonly with lawyers when they want to pay off debt or they want to get to a certain savings goal. So they'll cut out all these things and try to buckle down to get to the goal really quickly. The issue, though, in both contexts is it's not sustainable. So with crash dieting, people are cutting out all the things and they're living on strawberries and water and starving. And then when they finally hit their goal weight, it's like, whew, I'm done with that. I don't have to do that anymore. But then they'll go back to how they were eating before because the way that they were eating throughout the crash diet wasn't sustainable. And then they start putting the weight back on and it becomes this yo-yo cycle of now I'm at this weight that I don't want to be at. And so let me do this crash diet again to get back down to where I was. I was just speaking with a lawyer who was describing the same thing with her finances. So she was telling me about how she will deprive herself and be really focused and pay off her credit card. But then she gets to that goal and it's like, whew, I'm done with that. I hit that goal and now I can let loose. And she said that she would start making what she calls extreme purchases. And then she would rack up the credit card again. And so it's this back and forth cycle, this yo-yo cycle that she's basically staying in the same place because she pays down the card and runs it back up again and then pays it down again and then runs it back up again. And so she feels like she's taking one step forward and two steps back. And because of this cycle that she's in, she hasn't been able to move on to her other financial goals like paying down her student loans. So the way that she's been approaching her finances, although it might seem like it's working in the moment because she's making that progress on her credit card so quickly, it's actually hurting her because it's keeping her stuck in this cycle where she keeps working on the same goal over and over. So every time she pays off the credit card, it gives her this illusion, right? This sense of accomplishment, the relief that comes along with improving her finances. But in reality, she's not moving forward. And so she's not actually improving her finances at all. She's staying in the same place. So the thing with this crash diet approach to your finances is it's really discouraging. It feels great when you hit your goal quickly, but the journey to the goal feels terrible. All the deprivation, all the I can't have this, I can't do that, I'm on a budget, all of that language, all of that denying yourself feels bad. And then on top of that, you look up and you find yourself back in the same place that you thought you had already escaped from because the way that you got to that goal wasn't sustainable. And so you go back to the behavior that you were doing before, you revert back to how you were managing your finances before, and then you end up back in the same place. So here's what I want you to do. When you're making a plan to achieve your financial goals, I don't want you to go to deprivation. Don't look at it from that place. Instead, think about how can I enjoy life while still achieving those goals? That's the key. It's both. So it's not 100% about enjoying life and YOLO and I got this money and so let me spend it, right? You don't want to do that. But you also don't want to go to hoard all the money and save everything and scrimp and pay off as much as I can as quickly as possible and don't spend on anything but necessities. You don't want to do either of those extremes. You want to figure out how to incorporate both of those into your money management. It's both. And when that's your plan, When your plan is balanced, it's not all the way to just spend it all, figure it out later, or just cut out all of these unnecessary expenses, cut out all of the enjoyment, and only spend on things that I absolutely need and put everything else toward paying off my credit card or paying off my student loans or saving. When it's the balance, then you're actually going to keep up with it. You're going to keep going. Even once you've paid off the credit card that you're working on, or you've saved to whatever amount you want, or you've hit whatever goal you have. Like, you're not going to feel like, now I can let off. Now, it's a relief. Now I can do the things that I actually wanted to be doing all this time, because you're not depriving yourself of everything along the way. You're approaching the goal from a more balanced place. And so because you don't ever feel deprived in that way, then you don't go and splurge and completely wipe out all of the progress that you made in getting to the goal. So don't put off all the things that you love until you hit your goals. Ask yourself how you can do both and develop and execute a plan, a balanced plan that allows you to do both. And when you approach your goals in that way, you'll actually stick with the plan long enough to achieve the goals, and you'll have a much better experience while you do. And listen, if you are crash money dieting, you've got this yo-yo situation going on where you're able to pay off a credit card or you're able to save, but then you find yourself right back at square one, let's talk about how we can work together to create a more sustainable plan for you that will allow you to achieve those goals and stay there without regressing. So head to rothomas.com/call to get started. All right, that is it for this week's episode. Come connect with me on social media. You can find me on LinkedIn, Ro Thomas, and Instagram at I am Ro Thomas. Subscribe to the show and leave a review, both of which help more people to find it. And please think of a friend or two who could use this information and share the episode with them. As we close out, friend, I pray that you take the information you learn here, apply it in your life, and open up to the realization that wealth is available to you. As you do that consistently, week after week, you'll continue to take steps to regain control of your time, build wealth, and live the life of freedom and choice you deserve. Talk to you later.